Okay, people, today is January 22nd. Good morning to everyone out there. It is Mr. Miserable once again by himself doing a post. But I'm doing this one today just because, everybody talks about chivalry being dead and stuff like that. And I saw this weird article, I think it was on Reddit. Well, the article was on BuzzFeed, but the guy had put an article on Reddit asking people for advice. And what had happened was supposedly he has a medical condition, and he brought a seat by the aisle on the plane so he could go to the bathroom because, like I said, he has a medical condition. So when the plane is boarding, a pregnant passenger decided that she wanted his seat and that he should give up his seat because she was pregnant and she wanted to be able to get to the bathroom when she needed to. So, and he basically had got on Reddit and was asking, was he an asshole because he didn't want to give up his seat? And it was interesting to see some of the responses. Somebody was like, "Man, fuck that girl, fuck them kids, and fuck you." I won't take it that far, but I do feel like you know he paid aisle seat. He may have had to pay extra money to get that aisle seat. So yeah, she just got to sit for the seat she paid that. You know, people pay for their tickets a lot of times in advance for their seats. And what if he did have to pay extra for it? Like when I was younger, I believed like, yeah, you got to do this for women. You got to open the doors for them. You got to do all this. You got to do all that. And I still do for the most part. But also at the same time, it's like if you're not in the circle, I do kind of have that fuck you mentality now. Where it's like if you're not in my inner circle, fuck you and fuck them kids. It's like it ain't my responsibility. It wasn't that passenger's responsibility because if she knew she was pregnant going on this flight, she should have kicked out the extra money, the aisle seat that she wanted next to the bathroom. Then you going you so basically you putting this guy in a weird situation, and he said the flight staff didn't make anything easier. Like he was like they didn't mediate, they didn't tell the woman to go back to her seat, so they just let her rant and rave. And it's weird because it's like I don't want to come off as being an asshole, but it's like it feel like you live in a world now where it's like if a woman says something, it's like it's automatic jump on the woman's side, and like the man is kind of left out there to defend for himself. And that's kind of what the situation from what he posted on Reddit almost even sound like. Like he said, the none of the people in the crew assisted him or whatsoever. So like they should have told her she got to go back to her seat. Like literally, you're harassing a man for the seat he paid for. Let that sink in. The seat he paid for. Like it'd have been one thing if he stole her seat. I understand that, but you don't get on a flight and be like, oh well, because he got the seat I want, he should be forced to swap with me. Like fuck no. And that's why I understand where some of the people was like, no, fuck her. Like fuck her. And it's like I've never been that type of person where it's like, oh well, women get what they deserve because they want equality and stuff like that. Like I always believe in, being courteous, not just to women, but to anybody. But if this man was saying he on purposely brought the aisle seat because he has a medical condition, then fuck her. It's like I'm in my mindset is like I don't go above and beyond for motherfuckers no more. And I say that just in the standpoint that he was right for not giving up his seat. But he felt awkward because, like he said, even some of the members of his family, he was kind of telling him like, "Oh well, he should just give her the seat." And it's like, why? Like, why? Why does he need to give her his seat that he paid for, that he needed because he had a medical condition where he needs to be close to the bathroom. Like, I'm sorry. She was pregnant before she got on this fucking flight, on this fucking plane. So she should have thought ahead to pay for the aisle seat or pay for an aisle seat to put her closer to the bathroom. Like, no, like, women get no excuses in this world anymore. And I say that just from the standpoint, y'all want to be treated equal, then you need to be treated equal. Like, it's funny because they got this video I saw on Facebook where it's like an Asian guy, he's on the subway. And it was just, of course, he really didn't hit her. They were just playing around or whatever with the video. But in the video, he's standing behind her and he bumps into her. She gives him like a little light slap or whatever like that. Then they switch positions because then he goes in front of her, and then she bumps into him when the subway stops. And the way they have the videos look like he's about to haul off and slap the shit out of her. And it, and then the video is kind of like, modern day equality. And like I said, I'm never for hitting anybody or slapping anybody or anything like that. I mean, I just thought it was funny because it's like what do we mean when we say equality? Like, because let the roles have been reversed. Let that pregnant woman who already had paid for that aisle seat, he gets on the plane, he's boarding the plane, and he goes, "Yeah, I have a medical emergency. I have a medical situation that I need to be by the aisle seat, so I may have to go to the bathroom because of my medical situation." Oh, you know damn well those flight attendants would have told him to go back to his seat. And it's fucked up because, so where's the sense of equality? They literally let her berate him and irritate him for a seat she didn't pay for. And the flight attendants didn't do anything. From what he's saying in the story. And the story may have been different, but it's weird because I tend to agree with him because a lot of times it feels like when a woman berates a man, it's okay. Um, point cases, point like let's look at the whole thing with ESPN. When these black female reporters dug on guys on ESPN, no one says shit about it. Like they just let it go. Um, when Cam Newton had made that comment about the whole MVP situation, and that woman, I think it was Kimberly Andrews, Kimberly something, Kimberly Martin. I think it was Kimberly Martin. When she went after Cam the way she went after Cam, if a male would have did that about a female athlete, let's say Stephen A. Smith would have made a comment about Sue Bird, they would have made Stephen A. Smith apologize the next day. If Stephen A. Smith would have went after Sue Bird the way Kimberly Martin went after Cam Newton, they would make Stephen A. Smith apologize. It's like how they allowed Malika Andrews to make the comments about Boston new coach. Because she brought up shit that the Boston coach did when he was like a fucking teenager. Shit this man did 20 years ago. Like it's okay for women, especially, and I noticed this, and this is one of the reasons I don't really fuck with ESPN News, like ESPN anymore, because they allow for black women, the black women reporters, to come after, especially like the black male athletes. They allow them to come after the black male athletes so hard. But if a black reporter or any other reporter was to do that, they would be apologizing the next day. Like Malika Andrews had no right to bring up what that Boston coach, the new Boston, the guy who coaches Boston right now, she had no right to bring up what this man did 20 years ago. Kimberly Martin had no right to come after Cam Newton the way she came after Cam Newton, especially when almost everything Cam Newton said was true. if you look at how the end of this season has played out, everything Cam Newton said about the MVP race and the MVP category was 100% true. But because she's a woman, because she's a black woman, they allow her to say what she wants to say without any repercussions. If that was a black male reporter, he would be apologizing. If it was a white male reporter, he might have got fired. So where's the sense of equality at? And that's all I got to say about this issue for the most part. Like, to me, it's like, I don't know. Like, is Chivalry dead? Like, I don't know. Like I said, I look at it like this. I try to respect every woman, every man. I try to respect everybody until you give me a reason not to. And that's one of the things that drive me crazy sometimes because, like, when I'm at work or when I'm out on the streets or whatever like that, whether the lady is old or young, I always say yes, ma'am, because I'm always trying to be respectful. And I don't mean to like come off with like talking about their age. I just always say yes, ma'am. It's just born into me. Like I always joke like I'm a Southern boy, like but like I'm always saying yes, ma'am. And I know a lot of younger women get mad at me when I say it sometimes. And sometimes I want to ask them, well, what do you want me to say to you? Because it's like I see guys disrespect women so much. And some women don't take offense to it. But you get offended because I'm saying yes, ma'am. Because I say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I'm coming off trying to be respectful to you. That's why I'm saying yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Because that's how I was raised. It's not me trying to be disrespectful. And it's like, if I get to know you, then I'll start calling you on a first name basis and things, or maybe something like that. But typically, it's always yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, until I get to know you. Because it's like, I'm trying to keep a professional aura and I'm trying to be respectful at the same time. Like, and I think that's one of the things that kind of drive me crazy. I don't even know if it's a sense of equality. It's more just a sense of a lack of respect between the sexes and the lack of respect between people. And I think that's really the biggest thing that really is. I think equality is a part of it, but I just think there's like there's just really a sense of a lack of respect. Um, but other than that, like I said, I just wanted to do that. Just from the sense that I just found it to be like a little funny segment that the guy had because like sometimes you go on these Reddits and you see people and they be like, damn it, am I an asshole because I did this? Or I'm an asshole who did that. Like honestly, I don't think the guy was wrong. Like I said, one of the comments, the person said, fuck the kids and fuck her. I never go that far because she may have really had a situation, but like just said, this guy had a medical situation just as well. Because like me personally, if a pregnant woman would have probably came up to me on a plane and asked for my seat, and me seeing her pregnant, I probably would have gave it to her. But like I said, this situation was different because he said he does have a medical situation where he does need to be close to the bathroom. And that's where I'm looking at it more at. Like, this man has a medical situation. So he paid for the seat in advance because he had a medical situation. So I don't feel like he should have felt wrong for not giving her the seat. But I think a lot of women nowadays really have a sense of entitlement. And it's like where does this sense of entitlement come from? Like, and that was one of the things when that was driving me crazy when I was hearing about a lot of these young ladies being mad about the whole thing about, going to some of these eating spots. Like, where's this entitlement coming from? Because I just look at it like, all right, first date, I'm trying to get to know you. Now, somebody might call me a cheap date for saying this because I was always raised under the thing, maybe because I'm a little bit older, that a great first date is like going to the zoo, going to the aquarium, somewhere where y'all can just walk, talk, get to know each other better. So to me, maybe to somebody that's considered a cheap first date. Because I'm the type of person where, hey, let's go to Starbucks We can drink some coffee or whatever, get to know each other. Like I'm not really a heavy drinker, so I would never say going to like a bar or something like that. So I'm more like like I said, a coffee drinker, like iced coffee and stuff like that. But the first date is you're trying to get to know each other. And I always say this: if a woman's coming out saying, like, if I have to ask a woman, well, what do you bring to the table? And she say, oh, this, you look good or whatever like that, run. Run. She's not worth the time. I mean, honestly, like I said in the past, I lost my mother at a young age. So I work, I cook, I clean, I do my own laundry. So if all you bring to the table is your looks, you don't fucking interest me at all. You really don't. Like what? And a lot of young men is really going through that right now. That's why they're talking about this is one of the times in our country where like so many people are single because a lot of people are doing stuff by themselves. And if a woman is going, well, oh yeah, I'm bringing looks, I'm bringing sex, then you're not bringing nothing special. You're really not bringing nothing special. You just have a sense of entitlement. And a lot of dudes out here was like, well, fuck, what the fuck? But if that's all you bringing, then shit. What's that? What's that? Black woman used to say, I can do bad all by myself. And I think that's the mentality. That's the mentality with a lot of men are just taking that. Well, if that's all you bring to the table, and I mean I gotta work harder to take care of the two of us, yeah, then I can do bad by my fucking self. And you know what? I applaud the young men for having that mentality. Don't fuck with nobody that's going to bring you down. Don't fuck with nobody that's going to bring down your mental state. Don't fuck with nobody that's going to fuck up your physical health from the standpoint you got to fucking work and slave for a woman who don't appreciate you. Don't. Don't do that shit. It's not worth the time. And then you're going to realize once you done burnt yourself out helping her out, she gonna leave your ass for another man that's going to another fucking simp that's gonna be doing the exact fucking same thing. She's not worth the time and effort. Point blank and simple. And I'm not a red pill, I'm not a blue pill. I'm just a realist. And what I've learned in the last couple of years is nobody can be fucking trusted. At the end of the day, trust your gut. But if she telling you all she bringing to the table is her looks, is her sex, and she's not worth it. But on that note, I don't even know how I wound up going that deep into it, like I said, because like I said, I just found it to be a funny segment just because, like I said, the dude got on Reddit, and a lot of people called her entitled and stuff like that. And I think maybe that's where my kind of frustration came from, just from the sense that why are so many young ladies entitled now? Where's this sense of it's like just like how you make a man is supposed to want to take care of his woman. But on the first date, like, how is y'all making these guys kill themselves for y'all on the first date? Like, I don't even know if I like you yet. Like, realistically, I don't even know if I like you now. We might go, like, I went on a date with a young lady one time, and we went out, and I made a mistake, and I spilled the drink. And I'm the type person I am. I wanted to get the drink up, so I asked the waiter where the mop was at, because I didn't want him to get it up. So I'm gonna get it up. One lady stopped me and she was like, "No, that's what they got. That's what they got people here for." And I was so taken back by that when I got home, I never called her again. Because that whole mentality where it's like, I don't know, like I was just raised different. I was just raised different. And for me, it's like when I knocked that drink over, I felt like it was my responsibility to get that drink up. Like not the wait staff. Like the wait staff already does too much. As somebody who's a manager in the food industry, I feel like the wait staff already do too much. So for me personally, it was like, no. Like, no, like it was my responsibility. I knocked it over. So let me get it up. But like when she said that, I was kind of like, somebody that had that type attitude doesn't need to be in my energy. And I never called her back. But like I said, I went on another Mr. Miserable rant. I am sorry. I'm trying to get better. When Miss Sunshine gets back, she'll be able to keep me in check a little bit more. Like I said, but I hope y'all like the little rant. You know, like, and we're trying to come out with more quality videos. You know, we're still rookies at this, but we're working hard. Like I said, like and subscribe, and I'll be back again soon because we just had some great football over the weekend. But until then, like I always said, be nice to people, be kind to people, look out for your family, look out for your loved ones, and do right. Have a good day.